Hi, I'm Emily and I am here with Maya Murphy's attorney, Lauren McDonald. Attorney McDonald practices at Maya Murphy's Westport, Connecticut office and is admitted to practice law in both Connecticut and New York. My question today for Attorney McDonald is, my student was recently suspended or expelled in Connecticut. What conduct qualifies as a violation of publicized policy, a serious disruption of the education process, or an endangerment of persons or properties?
Thank you, Emily, for those questions. So the Connecticut General Assembly has authorized local or regional boards of education to prescribe disciplinary rules and policies for the schools they oversee. Individual schools, in accordance with these policies, will typically list prohibited conduct in school handbooks. The school administration may suspend or expel a student if he or she engages in such prohibited conduct. If your child is suspended or expelled under the publicized policy category, you can first consult the school handbook to determine whether his or her conduct violates any articulated school disciplinary rule. You will likely be able to make a stronger case for your child during the suspension conferences and expulsion hearings if you can show that his or her conduct is neither prohibited by the school nor violates any school rules. There are three things to keep in mind during this process. First, Connecticut courts have held that school rules have to be clear and understandable so students and parents can reasonably understand what conduct is prohibited. Second, under the Connecticut statutes, school districts must inform parents and students at least annually of board policies related to the school conduct, which is usually done through student handbooks. Finally, any school rule must have some rational relationship with its intended purpose. Please note that this is not a difficult standard for the board or the school to meet, since it does not have to show that the rule is the best approach, but only that there is some reasonable connection between the two. So what kind of behavior qualifies as a serious disruption of the educational process? According to guidelines issued by the Connecticut State Department of Education, a student's conduct is not a serious disruption of the educational process unless it substantially interferes with the operation of a class, study hall, library, or any meeting involving the students and school staff. The Department of Education has noted that reoccurring or cumulative disruptions, even if not considered serious, if taken separately, can amount to a serious disruption of the educational process taken as a whole. In making this determination, the Department of Education suggests that administrators should determine the frequency, number, and severity of the offenses. For conduct that occurs off school grounds, the Connecticut Supreme Court has held that there has to be a concrete relationship between the off-campus conduct and the school's operation. Moreover, the General Assembly in Connecticut has set forth the following criteria that administrators may consider in determining whether a student's off-campus conduct is a serious disruption. 1, whether the incident occurred close to school. 2, whether other students or a gang were involved. 3, whether the conduct included violence, threats of violence, or unlawful use of a weapon, and whether there were any injuries. And 4, whether the conduct involved the use of alcohol. So I'm often asked what kind of behavior qualifies as an endangerment of persons or property. The State Department of Education in Connecticut has defined endangerment of persons or property as conduct that exposes a student to an injury, risk, or harmful situation. Under this definition, fighting, bullying, possession of firearms, or controlled substances, or damage to personal or school property would satisfy this requirement. If your child is facing a suspension or expulsion and you have questions about your child's rights during this disciplinary process, please feel free to give me a call.